Hi everyone and welcome to Jack and Cat Adventures. Excuse me. Today we're going to be making a gluten-free chocolate mousse cake, and you will need the gluten-free flour that's 1-to-1. So it'll be the same as regular flour, like a cup to a cup. So you need to get that. You're going to need 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chopped. Now, I have 2 bars here. And you're going all together, you're going to need 16 ounces. What I'm doing is, I wanted to use up some of my semi-sweet chocolate chips, so I'm going to do that in my cake base. Then when we move on to our mousse, we'll do a half of
she's using a half a cup of her leftover chips,
right,
and a bar and a half of
this chocolate. The reason I'm doing a half a bar is because I want to leave 1 bar so I can curl the chocolate on top of the cake.
She's making it fancy.
So it's not difficult to follow. I'm making it more difficult. It's not, believe me. There's a lot of steps, a lot of start and stops in this, but it's worth it. So in a saucepan, you're going to take a cup of butter. I'm using unsalted butter because I'm going to add salt to my actual mixture. Okay, and we're going to get this melting. And as soon as the butter starts to melt, now do not do this on high. It's got to be low. You're going to add your chocolate and you're going to start letting it melt. As soon as it's melted and mixed all together, we're going to pull it off the heat, and then it has to sit until it becomes cool enough that we can add eggs that they won't scramble. Alright, you guys, just make sure you do this on really low and just keep stirring and stirring, and keep scraping that bottom. I'm finding that even on this really low setting, I'm on like 2, that it's still starting to wanting to clump a little bit. Just keep stirring it, keep that heat down. If you have to turn it off to keep mixing so it's not hot from the cooktop but from the residual heat of the pan, I would do that. That's what I'm doing right now, and I'm just going to let this set to get cool. While we're waiting for that to cool, you're going to need 1 cup of butter, or I'm sorry, no, put your butter in here. 1 cup of sugar, 5 eggs, a tablespoon of vanilla, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we'll add that once this cools enough to add the eggs. Alright, my chocolate's lukewarm now. I can put my hand on the bottom of the pan, it's fine. So pour it into a mixing bowl. Don't let this cool too much because it'll harden right back up. So lukewarm is where you need it to be, okay? Just make sure you get all that good chocolate. Alright, now what you're going to do, you're going to add your 1 cup of sugar, and then we are going to mix this till the sugar's blended in totally. Just starting out on low and I'll move it up. But it helps if I plug it in. You'd think I'd learn, I'm a slow learner. Okay, so we're going to let that go until the sugar's all mixed in. Alright, once your chocolate and sugar are mixed really well, you're going to add your 5 eggs, 1 at a time, mixing really well between each addition. And don't forget to scrape your bowl down in the sides. Okay. Let me just mix this up. Okay. Few more mixes. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Turn it flat out.
Throwing stuff around here.
Okay, I need that for later. Okay, I'm just gonna mix this a little bit more, and then I'm gonna add my flour, and which is a 1/4 cup of the gluten-free flour and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Just throw that in. Just gonna scrape it. This looks amazing, you guys. It's so nice and smooth. You need an 8 or 9-inch springform pan and lightly spray it with non-stick cooking spray. Alright, so now I'm going to pour this into my pan. While you're watching me do this, you guys please subscribe down below, so that you get, and hit the notification button so you get notified of all the new recipes and things we put out.
We put videos out 3 times a week.
Yep.
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Okay, I'm just going to give it a good swirl around with my spatula. Make sure that bottom is good. Okay, I'm just going to pour it into my pan. See how smooth that is?
Looks good.
Looks really good. Smells amazing.
I know.
And I don't even like chocolate.
I'm resisting the urge to come over there and lick the bowl. So
Well, I'm going to have you taste the bowl.
no. It's got raw eggs in it. I could get worms or something, you know. Salmonella.
Let me wipe my hand. Alright, now if it's not smooth on the top, smooth it out. Mine is pretty smooth. I'm just going to kind of bang it so that my air bubbles come out. Okay, now you're going to bake this at 325 for 30 to 35 minutes, or until the cake just rises in the center. A tester on this cake will not work. The tester will come out dirty, but it's done. So don't go buy a tester.
Or toothpick.
Alright, my cake just came out of the oven. It took 30 minutes exactly. See how it rose in the middle? It's starting to fall. That's normal.
It looks and smells like a brownie.
Yeah, don't over bake it, okay? Because it'll be like a rock. So now we're going to let this cool totally, completely until we move on to the next step. Alright, so now we're going to move on to our mousse part of the cake. So what you need, make sure your cake is totally cool. Then you're going to melt 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate just in a pan. And just kind of break it up if you can.
You're so strong.
I know, I'm Hercules. Okay, so while this is melting on low, very low, we're going to add cream cheese to our bowl. You're going to do 2 8-ounce softened cream cheese. Make sure you get all the cream cheese out of the crevices and stuff. Okay. Wash my hands real quick. Okay. Now I'm just going to melt this and then we'll move on. This will take a little bit of time because I have it on low. Alright, so once this starts to melt, and like I said, I have it on like 1, really low. But if it starts to like kind of clump in together, shut it off and just keep the residual heat on. This pan I have is a heavy bottomed pan, so it really holds in the heat, and I don't want to burn my chocolate. So I'm just letting the residual heat from the pan do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir in my melted chocolate into my cream cheese. You're going to pour that in. Oh yeah, better scraper. Let me see what we got here. Need like a sturdier one. Here we go. There we go.
Chocolate kicking your butt.
Yep. Okay. Now you're going to add 1 1/3 cup of powdered sugar. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Alright, now we're just going to mix this. I'm going to whisk it. Start out slow so it doesn't go all over. Just going to mix this in until it gets combined. You're going to mix it until it's completely smooth, and make sure you get your sides and your bottom straight. Alright, so you're going to put your mixer on low, and we're going to slowly add 2 cups of heavy cream. You just don't want it to go all over, that's all. I'm just kind of drizzling it in slowly. And once you get all your cream in, keep mixing it on low until it's all incorporated. Then we're going to turn it up to like medium, and we're going to whip this until it's really light and fluffy, because that's going to be our mousse. I'm just going to let this go a few seconds, and I'm going to scrape the sides. Alright, now that it's nice and light and fluffy, we're going to pour it onto our crust. See how nice and light and fluffy that looks?
Ooh.
Just pour it on top of your cookie crust. Wow! You guys, this is going to be one amazing dessert, I have to tell you.
Uh-huh.
Jack said the mousse tastes really good on this.
It is light, it's fluffy, it's, oh my goodness.
Alright, now I'm going to smooth this out on top, make it look nice and neat, and then I'm going to cover it tightly and put it in the refrigerator for up to 6 hours or overnight. I'm doing mine overnight. I'm not in a hurry for it. I don't need it till tomorrow. So just smooth this out evenly. The reason you want to get this as even as possible on the sides is because when you cut it, you want it all to look really uniform. Alright, and there we go. And I'm just going to put it in overnight, and then we'll finish off with the whipped cream in the morning. Alright, now it's the next day, and I'm getting ready to put the last layer on my cake. Now, this has to sit on the cake for at least an hour in the refrigerator before you can cut it. So you got to kind of time this cake. So in a mixing bowl, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar and 3/4 cup of heavy cream. And now we're gonna use our whisk, and we are gonna whip this, blah, 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 blah. You're going to whip this until it gets soft peaks. Alright, now I have my soft peaks. I don't want to go too far, because if you go too far then you have really the heavy peak. And I think everything on the cake needs to be kind of light in areas what they're going for. So, now, let me move all this stuff out of the way. And we are going to just put this on the top of the cake. And the reason you need to put this in the refrigerator again for another hour is if you were to cut this with this whipped cream on it right now, the whipped cream would just fall off. Wow.
That looks good.
Look at that, you guys. Wow. Wow. It's big. Okay, so let's just do our whipped cream. Kind of put it in different places so you don't have to drag it too far and pull up the mousse.
Be more worried about deflating the whipped cream.
Okay. Now,
Is that it? That's all the whipped cream?
that's it. I know. Doesn't look like much, does it?
Man, I don't know
But
who
it's a
did this
very
recipe.
rich cake. I mean, you've got that brownie on the bottom,
But that's whipped cream.
but you got heavy mousse, which is kind of whipped creamy too.
But no. This is whipped cream.
I know.
Oh, it gives it kind of like the topping of a cheesecake look.
Yeah.
So it's not supposed to be big and thick. I guess it's okay.
And I'm just using my offset spatula. I got this one on Amazon. Jack will put the link below. I love these. If you get them, get all 3 sizes. You won't be disappointed. You will use them for everything. I think I have 2 or 3 sets of them because I'm always using them and having them put in the dishwasher.
Oh, isn't it dirty? Dirty dishes.
Okay. Alright, now, what I'm going to do, if this works, we'll see. I'm going to take my chocolate bar. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I'm going to try and make some curls on the top. If not, I'm just going to grate it, so it's not a big deal if I can't get the curls right.
Oh, shavings. That looks cool. Oh, look at you getting all fancy and stuff.
Yeah, it's working.
Yep. Keep it on the cake and off the counter.
Just kind of keep turning your cake. Alright, and there you have it. So back in the refrigerator for at least an hour, and then when it's ready, just kind of run a knife around the inner edge of your cake, and then unspring it and take the spring off and you're ready. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, you do you.